Our next article was published on April 10th, 2023 from KSL. And its prosecutors say that Lori Vallow Daybell was motivated by money, power, and sex as trial begins. And that's according to prosecutor Lindsay Blake, who gave the state of Idaho's opening argument last Monday in the trial of Vallow Daybell, who is charged with conspiring to murder and grand theft of the deaths of her two children, JJ and Tylee. And this is really, really going to be a sensational news story. And I also found this sensational coverage of this doomsday trial, which I find very remarkable.
It's got a jury, 12 of them, 6 alternates, and the openings begin on Monday. And the story they are going to be told is, you can't write it for Hollywood. Let's put it that way. It's zombies and possessed and kids being killed because of it, and husbands, and I would need 5 hours. I don't have that. What I do have is one big issue, and that is that jury going to be comprised of a lot of Mormons, FLDS members, LDS members? I don't know, because East Idaho has a lot of them. In fact, Idaho, well, a quarter of the population is Latter-day Saints, Mormons. And we don't know, because every time they were asked about the religion, the judge shut off the microphone. So the reporters have no idea who's religious on that panel, who isn't. And the only reason I'm so frustrated about it is because it matters, because the church sent everybody a letter saying that they weren't allowed to help in the investigation. Prosecutors, the state, anybody, police. Let me read it for you. This one is a real humdinger, let me tell you. Back in 2020, this came out from the church leaders injecting themselves into this, saying, "We remind leaders and members of a long-standing policy that church leaders should not involve themselves in civil or criminal cases regarding members in their units, quorums, or organizations without first consulting with church legal counsel. However well-intentioned, church leaders sharing information in legal proceedings can sometimes be misinterpreted and even damaging. Following the church's policy also keeps the church from being inappropriately implicated in legal matters." Are you kidding me? You got to call your church before you can answer the police and their questions? Well, understandably, like Lori Vallow's lawyer was really mad. This is what they called it, a code of silence. This was the response that Lori's defense attorney gave. "The LDS Church has told approximately 26% of the residents of the state of Idaho to contact church legal counsel to enter into a code of silence and to only discuss their potential knowledge of this case and any other civil or criminal case after filtering said knowledge through the lens that is the LDS Church. These LDS residents make up possibly jury pool members, witnesses, judges, prosecutors, police officers, detectives, deputies, police chiefs, captains, and other elected and non-elected officials throughout the state of Idaho." Holy Dinah, what a mess. And we weren't allowed to hear what they were asking during jury selection because the mic was turned off. Not good. Secret justice. Give me a break.
Yeah, so I probably should have introed that clip a little bit better. That was Ashley Banfield on News Nation. That is the type of sensational news coverage that we are going to see a lot more of. It's going to be absolutely off the hook. I'm watching this trial with great anticipation. And I guess we are not going to find out how many Mormons are going to be on this jury because, again, that is something that is not going to be disclosed to the public. I find that to be very remarkable. I think that journalists, so-called journalists like Ashley here, are a bit ignorant when it comes to Mormon culture because she's talked about FLDS. There's a lot of FLDS members in East Idaho. I really don't think that is the case. So I think that a lot of these journalists are pretty ignorant. And this trial is just it's going to be sensational. And you're going to see the ignorance of the so-called mainstream media on full display. Now, our next article in the news is out of Arizona again. This was from Michael Resendez on the Associated Press on April 11th of 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, kicking off the first stop on his world tour, our new president and prophet, Russell M. Nelson.
The Arizona Supreme Court has ruled that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints can refuse to answer questions or turn over documents under a state law that exempts religious officials from having to report child sex abuse if they learn of the crime during a confessional setting.